But and when it comes to the worst things about Disneyland, I have one, and it's I can't find the castle. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Grim Grinning Dads, the show where three Disney-obsessed dads share travel tips, hot takes, and a whole lot more. I'm Caleb, that's Tyler, that's Charlie. This week is Thanksgiving week, and we wanted to have a little bit of fun, which we never do, ever on this show. So we decided that we would rank the 6 domestic Disney parks. And if this is something that you like or something you enjoy, we would really appreciate a like, a subscribe, you ringing that bell, a follow, a comment, or listening on any or all of the places podcasts live. It would truly mean the world to us. Right away, we're just going to get right into the ranking, and I'm going to send it right over to Charlie. Charlie, let's start with you. What's your number 6 out of the 6 parks in the country?
Number 6 for me is Disney's California Adventure. I think it's pretty easy to put that at number 6, mostly because of the kind of incoherence of the park. The lands just kind of blend together. There's just a lot of mishmash of different things. And that's definitely the worst thing that you can say about California Adventure, for me anyway. It does seem that like there's missed opportunities to really expand on what they're calling Cars Land instead of calling it Radiator Springs. Doesn't really make sense. But as far as the best parts of that park, the entry, I really love the entry. It's a nice throwback to the 30s and 40s of Hollywood, and having a place where Marvel characters, I guess, what is it, like east of the Mississippi, the west of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, where they can actually roam around, and we're able to, meet a lot of the MCU characters, both new and old, and they really do a lot of things with updating those characters and keeping them kind of relevant. And last but not least, the Shaboop is fantastic.
Right at sundown.
Agreed. Yep.
At sunset. Exactly. Every night.
Very cool.
I
was going to say he's dancing to silent music right now.
Life would be a dream. Life would be a dream, sweetheart. Shoo doo boop boop shaboom.
All right. Shall I do my number 6?
Please.
I'm ready for the hate. It's Magic Kingdom.
Oh!
Wow.
But
okay.
I should point out that, this is a list that we do intend to revisit periodically. So, we're sitting here in November of 2025 with a lot of construction going on. We obviously know it's coming down the road, but it's probably, 4 or 5 years down the road, knowing how Disney does these things. But yeah, Magic Kingdom. If I have to say, a couple of things that are great about it. People Mover's fantastic, as we know. Happily Ever After is an elite nighttime spectacular. And the Cheeseburger Spring Rolls are doing a lot of work, making up for a lot of other, let's say, missed opportunities for food in Magic Kingdom. The worst stuff about it, Small World, is terrible.
Yeah.
And then what's attached to Small World, Pinocchio Village House, is an insult to any quick service food establishment.
Fair.
It's real bad. I had a tough time between my number 5 and number 6, but I won't get ahead of myself. But it was the lack of good food options that put Magic Kingdom at number 6 for me.
Guys, I gotta be honest. I'm with Charlie. My number 6 is California Adventure, because the best thing about that park is Cars Land and or Radiator Springs Racers. And the worst thing about that park is everything else. Like, I and like, that's not to say that the festivals aren't great at California Adventure. I've just never been to one while I was there. Like, it wasn't Food and Wine when we were there, right?
Nope. It was
No,
not.
it wasn't Food and Wine.
It wasn't. Last year it was when we were
right,
there.
Right. And I guess okay, I went to the one and that was okay. The food was good. And like that Incredicoaster's a fun ride. You know, Guardians Mission Breakout is fun. Soarin' is obviously a classic. So like they have great things there. But the problem is like it just doesn't flow well. And the park is just not great. Like you get all the way out to Pixar Pier and you're like, why am I here? And then you turn around and you go, oh, that was it? Okay. Yeah, it just Radiator Springs though is a lot of fun. The whole place, and like you said, Charlie, the sunset tradition, all the neon coming out, like there's just nothing like it. So that's California Adventures, my number 6.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Following that up, number 5. For me, right now is Animal Kingdom. I do enjoy Animal Kingdom, but I'm going to put it at number 5 because the dinosaur area is soon to be under construction. That whole area has been kind of ripped apart, and there were some things there that I actually wish that I had been able to take Sawyer to a couple of years before we went there the first time, because it would have been like he had his dinosaur phase, and that happened when he was like 5 or 6, and we didn't go until he was like 7 or 8. So I think it really, would have been cool. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with it. It seems like they do have some sort of vision for that area. I love Encanto. I agree with Caleb that we maybe don't need another boat ride, but I do think it will be a cool boat ride, and there could be some really cool things in there. They could do a lot with it. As far as the best parts of Animal Kingdom, I personally think there's nothing like an early morning safari. Watching the animals as they've been up for a little while, potentially getting a lion on Pride Rock, like roaring type of experience. Like that is the thing that people have had happen. And then maybe take an adventure down Cali River Rapids and topping that off with a visit to Pandora and having some sort of boba tea in Pandora would be cool. Yeah.
Boba tea. Or the cheeseburger pods.
Right.
Yep. Nice. All right. My number 5 is California Adventure. So the only thing that kind of broke the tie between this and Magic Kingdom for me is that there are more good food options in DCA than there are at Magic Kingdom. You've got all the options in San Francisco, like those birria tacos. You've got the Cozy Cone over in Cars Land. There's some really good stuff around Pixar Pier as well. Lamplight Lounge is awesome, especially if you do dinner right before World of Color. You've got Carthay Circle, which has a great lounge and really good cocktails. So there is some great stuff there. But like these guys have mentioned, there is really no continuity in that park at all. Like there's just no flow from one thing to the other, and that's only going to get worse over time with the things that they're adding.
Right.
So yeah, the California theming is all but gone, which is unfortunate because I think that had a lot of potential as an idea, but they kind of abandoned that for the sake of adding IP. And I see why they do it, but it also kind of ruins the flow of the park. The best parks are the ones that have the really good transitions from land to land, which might come up later. So that's my number 5.
All right, my number 5, and Charlie, I don't know, like we must have the same list or something because mine's Animal Kingdom. For one reason and one reason only, and that is Dino Land under construction and the pending construction and removal of Dino Land into the Central Americas. Don't get me wrong, I love Dinosaur. Dinosaur is a phenomenal ride. And I'm excited for that to become Indiana Jones, because finally we get an Indiana Jones on the East Coast. That's not a stunt show. But, however, my favorite thing about Animal Kingdom is the safari and the different walking trails that you can go on. Animal Kingdom's just different. It is. I'll say it like this. It's the redheaded stepchild, but it's the redheaded stepchild you love. It's fair.
All redheads, please don't send us hate
there's
mail
some
about
things
this.
about that park that I will touch on when I get to it on my list, but there's some really great details in there that you just don't find at the other parks
anywhere else. And the fact that like when you're in the park on Discovery Island and you can kind of see the top of Everest and it's off in the distance, right? And you can kind of see the tops of the floating mountains in Pandora, but like that's really it, and that's only if you're looking for them and they're behind you, right? You don't see them until you like turn and you start walking that way, or if you're intentionally looking for them. So like that's really cool about it. They did that so well in Animal Kingdom, hiding the different things so that you don't have that continuity issue, because you travel the world essentially in the different areas of the globe. So Animal Kingdom is just awesome, and I'm excited to do Zootopia Better Zoogether because that just opened up. Guys, I'm dyslexic, so it sometimes kind of comes out my mouth. But yeah, Better Zoogether. I'm excited for that one, and Central America when that finally opens up in like 2055.
It's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a bit.
Given Disney's track record.
Yeah, I would imagine they're gonna do a lot to make the house kind of interact and have it like actually do all sorts of interactive things. They have. I mean, they have to. Well,
they better make
Casita
do stuff.
They have to.
Casita better be like opening and closing the shutters.
Yes.
And like the bricks better be moving, because like that's what they do. Like that's what Casita does. For sure. And it's its own character in that movie, and it needs to remain its own character.
I think they'll deliver on that.
They will. I think
at least at first, until it stops working, and then they abandon it.
Yeah.
And that's how we get Disco Yeti.
That would be
as long as it's working when all the bloggers are there to talk about the opening, and then after that, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Yep.
We should find out when they're going to open that, and us three take a trip.
I mean, I think they're targeting summer 2027.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like when they open,
reasonable.
Us three better go. We better go be part of the first people in there.
I mean, if I have to choose that or Tokyo, I think I'm going to choose Tokyo.
I'm going to choose Tokyo also.
Well, that could just be our stop before Tokyo.
Yeah, that's not out of the way at all for me.
No.
No, it's fine.
No, totally fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine, guys.
Number 4. My number 4 is one that we've touched on already. At least one of us has, as Magic Kingdom. I think we had kind of gone through this already, talking about Magic Kingdom. For me, the best parts of Magic Kingdom are Main Street, walking down that original vibe, having smells pumped in, having music, having all of the Easter eggs that are on Main Street, and just different original ideas that were, not made better for sure. But Haunted Mansion on both coasts is a must for me. And I do love Haunted Mansion at World. In terms of the worst, construction. Again, we're talking November 2025. There are a lot of things under construction. They just removed the ferry boat, the riverboat, sorry, and that's kind of terrible that is gone. I do think that Tyler has a point when he talks about Fantasmic and how they utilize that boat in the production of Fantasmic, and unfortunately, that's not something that happens at Magic Kingdom. So it's just a lot of detouring, a lot of under construction, and just not a lot of. I mean, even when I think back to what we did when we went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, we did the 3 rides that I really cared about doing, and I was not disappointed that I didn't do other things. So that for me, I mean, even Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, even with the refurbishment, I'm curious to see what they do with the refurbishment of Big Thunder, but even with that being under construction right now, I didn't feel like we missed much. So that's my number 4.
Nice. All right. So my number 4 is Hollywood Studios. And honestly, this one, it's gone up in my estimation a little bit since going to Jollywood, um, because I think it shows that that park has a lot of potential, and I like when they lean into the design choices that they have. It's kind of similar to the entrance to DCA, that like 1920s, 30s Hollywood. I really like that stuff. I think the best things here, of course, Galaxy's Edge, have all that comes with that. The Indiana Jones stunt show is a classic, and I hope they never get rid of it. But it kind of suffers from the same thing that DCA does. It's the lack of continuity and these like harsh transitions from place to place with no explanation. Um, and that's again only going to get worse as Monstropolis opens, and then you're going to have the Muppets courtyard, or whatever they call the Muppets area where Rock and Roller Coaster is, the new Muppets courtyard, I guess. It's just going to like pop up out of nowhere, and it's right next to Tower of Terror. So that's going to be another kind of weird transition, I'm sure. So just shoving all the IP into the park without any real thought to, how it flows. But there are some things to really like about this park. I did love Jollywood. I love all the different food options you can get there. They have some great theming on their restaurants, although the restaurants could use some work on the food itself. But the Sci-Fi Dine-In and 50s Prime Time are both great to experience at least once, and then maybe not again until the food gets better. So that's my number 4.
Ironically, my number 4 is also Hollywood Studios.
There we go.
I mean, it's one of those parks that, in my personal opinion, that they've just kind of hodgepodge together. But I think they've done it in a tasteful manner, if that makes sense. Because it is the whole thing about Hollywood Studios is that it was a Hollywood studio backlot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like it was kind of expected that like, oh, you just cross one, you turn and look one way, it's going to look one way, and you turn around and look the other way, it's going to look another. Right? Like it's kind of always been a thing. And like even when they were building Galaxy's Edge, like people were complaining that like the way that they built the Black Spire and stuff like that, the rock formations, from the outside you can see the steel supports and stuff like that. But like also you can see the supports for the AT-AT for Star Tours. So
well, that's by design though.
Right. So it's one of those things, like you can excuse those things. I'm not saying that that's why Disney did it. They probably obviously did it because of budget cuts and stuff like that.
Well, and you can see the back of the steel on the back of Black Spire Outpost from Disneyland too, if you're outside the park. So, but that's a location and lack of space issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's stuff like that where like you just think about it and you're just like, okay, it's supposed to be a backlot. That's what it's supposed to be. And if you've ever been on an actual studio in LA or wherever they are now, they're all over the place. They have those charms to it where, oh, looking this way and you're down Times Square, New York. But if you're looking this way, it's the Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco. Like it just doesn't really make sense. But when you're looking at one thing and one thing only, you don't see everything else. And that's kind of how it works out. Except for Toy Story Land, you can see friggin' everything. So it's probably the well, that's currently the worst part of Hollywood Studios is Toy Story Land. I will say it used to be Launch Bay was the worst part of Hollywood Studios. Like, why would
It's
you
in
go
the
there?
middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, why would anybody go there
so
to
random.
meet Chewbacca and Darth Vader and BB-8?
Hey, don't knock meeting Chewbacca.
I'm there.
No,
You just
that's
sign me up.
That's the only thing there, though. Like, okay, you're in and out there in 10 minutes, right? Like, because nobody's there. But now, given the current state, that's all under construction. It's going to become the new animation spot, which will be cool, hopefully. But yeah, Toy Story Land is probably the worst. But the best part about Hollywood Studios is Galaxy's Edge and Rise of the Resistance. Like it really is the best part. Because it's just more than an attraction; it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And agreed.
And
no argument here.
We'll get to Star Wars eventually. That is a thing that'll happen eventually. So stay tuned for that. Like, follow, subscribe, hit those buttons, ring that bell so that you know when that Star Wars episode's coming, because it's coming.
It might be a multi-parter.
It's gonna have to be. It's gonna be because it's so long. It's gonna be so long.
Yep. Yeah, if we want to split it, we're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be split into a couple things.
But yeah, that's my number 4. Charlie, what's your number 3? Top 3 now.
Number 3 for me is Hollywood Studios. So following up on what you guys said, the best parts of it are the vibes when you walk in, which I already said about California Adventure. I mean, those vibes are very similar and reminiscent. The neon lights as you walk down that front area is really cool. The different cast members dressed in specific ways and the storefronts looking a very specific way, even though there's a lot of Disney IP inside of the stores. They do a good job of having the window shopping be very reminiscent of like what store you're going to be going into. The 30s and 40s vibe is awesome. The Twilight Zone, I love that little courtyard area, and again, I think it even holds a bigger place for me now, based on what they were able to do in the back corner there. I thought that was really, really, really fun.
You didn't know it existed.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I walked through it a bunch, but didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I've walked through it a bunch because I've never come at it from that side. Like I would never consider. I go in the ride. I don't go to the back of the ride to go. Let's go to the store.
Well, and it was hard to appreciate like how much space is there until you see how they utilize it. It was really, really well done.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. I wish I had tried the drink that you guys got, but I was very distracted by just taking pictures of all the different cool things that were happening back there.
You were probably being the more responsible one.
Probably. I probably was. I think Kill's pointing at the glass, but I couldn't see it because it's on my screen. And then agreed, Galaxy's Edge is fantastic. Rise of the Resistance is my favorite ride experience that I've done at any Disney park. It brought me to tears afterwards. I came off there. I came off there going, I was just in the Star Wars, it was like the experience because I was so emotional. I did
Star Wars.
Yeah, I was just in that world, because I didn't know. I hadn't watched any videos, that's typically how I try to approach any of the new rides or anything like that. I try not to watch those things because I want to experience them for real the first time. But the worst parts of Hollywood Studios for me, the removal of the backlot feeling, having all of that stuff. At one point, you used to be able to meet the Ninja Turtles back there, back when they still kind of had the rights intertwined with Disney. And the backlot ride, that ride, even though I recently learned that it was trying to compete against the one at Universal. I still loved that ride for what it was, and the fact that they, took Disney or MGM Studios IP and put you into Gilligan's Island, and for the people that got to volunteer, they got to put on they get to go on a green screen boat and like do crazy things, which was really, really awesome. I was very big into movie making as I was growing up, and I love that. So the cohesion is dead. Um, I think with very little effort, they could make, transitions happen, but they don't. And Andy's backyard transitioning, not even transitioning, Andy's backyard just all of a sudden, snap, you're at another place.
Hard
You see
cutting
Galaxy's
to
Edge. Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge or
Yeah.
on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, so even with I mean, what would have been really nice is having something similar to what they did on the other edge, where it's like a tunnel, and the tunnel gives you a transition. Now, what they could have done, or what they could do, is have it, have like theming and music as you go through, and have it start to blend, and then like as you get to the other side it changes to something different. I think that would be
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Something that made
Well,
it so that I couldn't look and just see that.
yeah. Well, and I think what makes the transition when you go under that tunnel in the Galaxy's Edge so great is that it's also the music. And it's not really even just music, but it's that like ambient noise
The
for like
birds.
these
Yeah.
animals, and
Mhm.
so it feels different before you actually see anything different.
Yeah.
And it's really, really smart the way they did that. But it just shows like how good that side is how bad the other side is.
Right.
Yeah.
So they put all the focus into that side. The one other thing I wanted to call out about Hollywood Studios that I forgot to mention, like when it really changed, at least for me, is when the Great Movie Ride was replaced. That's
Yeah.
the signal that this park is not what it was anymore. And not that I love Runaway Railway. I think it's a fantastic attraction. Its better location is coming up later on my list, but it's a great attraction, but it doesn't really fit where it is there. Because like having the Chinese theater made sense for the Great Movie Ride as going through like a history of movies. It
Mhm.
doesn't really work for Mickey. What they probably should do is they should remodel that into the Carthay Circle Theater, which is where Snow White premiered, and that would tie into like the history of Disney,
So cool.
more so than the
Oh,
Chinese
it'd be
theater.
so cool if they did
That'd be
that.
so cool. They
It'd be
won't, but they
incredible.
could.
They won't do it, but they
They won't
should.
because they already have like a mock-up of that elsewhere in the park, and they have it in DCA, but as a restaurant. So
Okay.
they nod to it elsewhere, but I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. And yeah, it doesn't really like story-wise doesn't tie in. But anyway, sorry to hijack your your spot there, Charlie. But I just a couple things I wanted to call out. But
Yeah. And the last thing to say is rest in peace, Sorcerer's Hat. That's all I want to say about that.
kind of making a comeback though.
Yeah.
It won't be the same. It won't be the giant one, but a version of it will be at the animation building.
Which I can appreciate. Cool. Which I'm excited about. I'm very excited to see the animation building. Also, kind of bummed that we didn't. Me too. I am bummed that we didn't see some of the original costumes that were there from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yep.
And I think that would have been cool, because I personally, no one else in my family likes Muppet Christmas Carol, but I love Muppet Christmas Carol, and I will watch it.
What?
And I will die on
why?
that. I don't know.
It's so good.
Yep. I don't know. All right, Tyler, you're up.
All right. My number 3 is Animal Kingdom. And really it's because I like to appreciate the level of detail and Imagineering that goes into this park. Now granted it's changing. We know it's coming to Tropical Americas. They've added all the Avatar stuff, of course. But I think the spirit of the park is still pretty much what it was when it opened. And, I don't know how many people out there follow like specific Imagineers, but if anybody knows about Joe Rohde and his aesthetic, like he and Tony Baxter are probably the two like all-star Imagineers from the last like 30, 40 years, because there was all the original crew that worked with Walt directly, but then those two were kind of the next generation of Imagineers. And Tony Baxter has his hands, in everything from Indiana Jones to Disneyland Paris to all that stuff. But Animal Kingdom is Joe Rohde to a T, and all of the detail, especially around Everest. Like, they took so many trips to that area of the world to make it as authentic as possible.
So cool.
And you can really see it. So I appreciate that detail. I mean, the best things there outside of that detail, Flight of Passage is great. Love a good safari, especially in the morning. And then this is a sneaky good park for food and drinks also. So Nomad Lounge, special shout out there. I think the worst thing about Animal Kingdom is the shorter hours and a lack of any nighttime spectacular. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. I know we've touched on this before, but I'm hoping with Tropical Americas that there's something more added there, because I feel like that's a really big missed opportunity to keep people, even if it's just till like 7 or 8 o'clock. That extra couple hours could make a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't mention it when I talked about Animal Kingdom, but Nomad Lounge is superb. Like, it's so good. Yeah, I really enjoy the food options at Animal Kingdom. And like you said, Joe Rohde is by far he is Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And Animal
Personified.
Kingdom,
Yes.
yeah, and Animal Kingdom is Joe Rohde.
Yeah. No, I don't. I wouldn't. I'd probably, like, my personal taste, I lean more towards a Tony Baxter's kind of
Sure.
aesthetic, but I love the attention to detail and how they basically gave him like free reign to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
And
they
it
said
came through.
They said, Joe, here's a check. Add as many zeros to this as you want.
Yeah. Or like,
And
Joe, we're making an animal park and you clearly love animals. Go crazy.
Go nuts. And he did. And I really love Animal Kingdom. I know I had it as my number 5. But that's just because it's hard to choose between the other it's really hard to choose between all 6 of these, right? Like, it's
Well,
not
the top 2 are not difficult. It's the bottom 4 where you can kind of debate.
right,
But
right. And so it's stuff like that where you're just like, God, like, I know, like, Animal Kingdom is it's just such a different park. And talking about the transitions, when you're walking from Discovery Island to Pandora, like, that transition is incredible, because you go from the normal animal noises to like a mixture of the two, and then you're very heavily into Pandora, and then you're like, oh wait, the foliage has changed.
well, that's like, you can tell that was like the version
Just
1 for what they did with Galaxy's Edge.
so incredible.
And
So incredible.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they build on that for, when they get to Villain's Land, like, what can that transition look like?
Right. Right. And I hope that it starts off, it'd be really cool if it started off as like super green, luscious, beautiful foliage, and then it like all of a sudden transforms into like the thorns from Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
And then you're like
Well,
walking through, like, that'd be so cool.
I think if they have the option to use some kind of tunnel or enclosure, because that creates more of a visual reveal, which I think that's one thing that's really brilliant, not to sidetrack us, but really brilliant about Epic Universe, is like using the portals, because it creates
Genius.
like a
Yes, very
cinematic
smart.
sort of reveal.
Yep.
And it works in every land too.
Right. And the cool thing is like, total sidecar, but Epic doesn't try to hide it, right? Because like, how can you hide things like Isle of Burke?
I mean, when you're on the ground level in, and granted, I haven't been in person, but from the plenty of, lives and walkthroughs that I've seen, when you're on the ground in Celestial Park, you don't see a ton of it. Like, they
Right.
pay attention to the sight lines quite a bit. I mean, yeah, when you have like the overhead shots, you can pretty clearly see everything. But yeah, I think, if they're looking at it from being on the ground, they do preserve that reveal pretty well.
Right. And they do such a great job. And I think that's because they took a lot of the things that Disney has done, and they learned from it and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. But yeah, so That it's just so cool that Animal Kingdom has done that, and I really hope that they continue to do that with these new expansions. Like, there's nothing you can do about Monstropolis. Like, there's just nothing you can do. It's just going to be a bold, in-your-face, oh, now you're in Monstropolis.
Yep.
Like, you know, but whatever.
And
I
how is
digress.
that going to lead
Maybe a
over to
giant
Galaxy's
door.
Edge?
They could do like a giant door or something. I mean,
They could. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny, actually. I'd be for it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
are we on
very
number
similar.
3?
We're on your number 3.
Number 3, yep.
Okay. This one's gonna cause some heat.
I'm already angry about it. Go ahead.
My number 3 is Epcot. Not because I don't like Epcot, but because there's not many attractions in Epcot, and World Showcase doesn't count.
It absolutely counts.
It doesn't. World Showcase is not an attraction.
It's where
I guess it
wanna be
depends on
right
how you
now.
define an attraction. If you define an attraction as a reason to go, it's a huge attraction.
Mm-hmm.
I would say World Showcase is the same as like the different lands of Magic Kingdom or the different lands of Hollywood Studios, or like that's how I equate World Showcase. World Showcase is just lands.
I think it's selling it short, but okay.
But I mean, in a very short, blunt way to say it, that's what it is. Like, oh, we've got Canada land, we've got UK land, we've got America land. Like, it's just really what it is. I think it would be really cool if they would expand on World Showcase more and add more, even if they're boat rides, more rides and attractions inside of World Showcase. Because as of right now, it's just a food and drink place.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
originally there were supposed to be, I think, 2 or 3 more rides than what
right.
they actually did. Yeah, there was
Right.
supposed to be the boat ride in Germany, and there was going to
Right.
be like a Mount Fuji roller coaster thing in Japan.
Yeah, and that'd
It's
be
like,
cool.
okay,
And,
go back and do that, because that'd be a cool nod to like the history of the park.
and there's things that, and there's ways that they can do it, and also like Epcot's lost its charm from what it used to be, and now it, for a lack of a better description, it feels like a Apple store, especially like the front of Epcot. Like, you walk in, everything's
Nobody
straight
wants to work in an Apple store. Walk into an Apple store every day.
Who's to say what that's like?
Right. But like it like that, honestly, like that's what it feels like. You feel like you've walked into this super straight line, black, white, very like modern-esque feel. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a park centered around like imagination and creativity and learning about things like it used to be. So like it's lost a lot of that, and there was a lot of promises made when they did do the construction at Epcot that they just took away for no reason other than budget, and like that's frustrating to me. Like, Communicore Hall, why? Because like it's all that wasted space that they could have done something. And I was really hopeful when they brought in Moana's Journey of Water, like, because that was kind of getting back to the feel of what Epcot was, right? Intertwining education and fun, like that's cool.
And a clever use of IP.
Right. And the really cool thing is like Moana is hinted at in there, but she's not the main thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's really Tafiti, which is incredible. And Tafiti wasn't even a main character.
Yeah.
But it's like I was hopeful for that. But like Communicore Hall, weird. The fact that they have an Encanto stage show there is weird. Like, I don't get it. And then, like, they got rid of the play. Like, they were gonna do the play pavilion, and that's gone. Like, there was just so much that they were gonna do, and it just didn't end up that way. But whatever. But in that construction, they did create the best part of that park, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. That is by far the greatest ride in all of Disney World. By far. I'm just saying. So like that's cool, but it's really hard for me to rank Epcot higher than number 3 because of all of the letdown that happened in the construction. Now, that's not to say that in the future that it doesn't change. Of course, this is November 2025. It could change in the future, and they might just totally tank other things and do really well on other things. So like, but as of right now, it is my number 3.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, Charlie, number 2.
Yep. My number 2 is going to be Walt's Park, Disneyland. I think that it's fantastic, just fantastic overall. It's kind of it would be a toss-up between 1 and 2, honestly. But I have more nostalgia and memories that I've made up with my number 1 that I don't have with number 2. If Disneyland was the place, right? Well, Disneyland was the place that I had gone for family vacations throughout the years, and got to be there with my grandparents when they were still alive, and those types of things. It might sit higher. It can't sit much higher. It's just one below, but just the overall vibes at Disneyland are fantastic. I really, again, I really enjoyed Main Street, knowing specific things, meeting Dave while we were there. We'll bring him up until somebody is able to actually get him on the podcast if he's allowed to. But it just was a fantastic experience. And some of the main attractions that they opened with still hold up today, which is bananas to me with all the new technology that's come out, that some of these attractions still hold up. They update things. They try to continue with Walt's original visions. They try not to destroy a lot of those things. Like there's just a lot of things that are some of them maybe to their detriment. They're holding on to them. Like we had discussed in our, what Caleb had posted on our TikTok the other day, talking about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from one of the opening day, and
smells like wet pennies.
Smells like wet pennies, and certainly is one of those things that probably could go away, and I'd be okay with it. I don't know that people ride that one as often. But as far as like more best things, the last thing that I would mention is the croissant sandwich on Main Street is still calling me with its siren song all the way across the country. As far as the worst, keeping those specific rides, and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is fantastic throwback. However, the subject matter might not be appropriate for for children, if they even understood it while they were in there. So,
but I'm, in my late 30s now, and I'm not sure I fully understand it, but it's still awesome.
It's a fever dream. Okay, it's a fever dream. I said that in our TikTok. It's a fever dream.
It is. It is. All right, that's my number 2.
All right, so my number 2 is Epcot, and I will agree that it has lost some of the spirit that it had. This is the park that I have the most kind of childhood nostalgia for, because growing up not far from Disney World, this was the park that we tended to visit the most. And like 90s Epcot for me has just like a super special place, like Innoventions, that theme, if you know, that Innoventions theme is iconic. It's one of the best like park soundtracks of all time. I missed the fountain that was in the middle, but like what still holds its high place for me now is how much the park can change like season to season. I love the festivals that they do. I mean, Food and Wine is iconic. But yeah, there's just such a variety there. And people want to knock on even something like Mission Space. I get that it doesn't work for everybody. It works for me. That ride's awesome. Test Track is great. Even when it was 2.0, it was still super fun, but 3 is better. But 1 will always be the best for me. But like Spaceship Earth, Living with the Land, like these classics that they hold on to, that edutainment kind of vision that they had for the park, it's basically gone, but there's a couple things still holding on. And then the foodie in me just loves that park so much. Like nothing beats, if you're staying at a Skyliner resort, going in for early entry through International Gateway, going right into France and going to Le Hall and getting like one of their breakfast sandwiches there. I don't know if it's Jolly Holiday good, but it's pretty close. So for all those reasons and more, plus drinking around the world, of course, like can't not try that at least once. Epcot's my number 2.
Epcot's great. Epcot's a phenomenal park. And honestly, guys, like all of these parks are fun. Like there's like we're ranking
even
them.
Magic
sure.
Kingdom is fun,
right? Like we're ranking them, sure, but like number 6 for me is California Adventure. I would still love to go to California Adventure. Like, like there's good things and bad things about all of these parks. I still love to go. Like, if I could go right now, I would. Like,
yeah, because at the end of the day, you're still in a Disney park.
You're right. You're still at Disney, and they do such a great job of all of these. And I will say this because Charlie forgot to mention it when he was talking about California Adventure. He said that it represented the 30s and 40s of Hollywood. What's really cool about California Adventure is right when you walk in, it is the 20s of Hollywood, the 1920s, which is really cool.
23, yeah, which is when the company was founded.
Yeah, and Oswald is in the very front of the park.
Oh yeah, he is there. Forgot about that.
And so like that's cool. But my number 2 is Roy's Park, Magic Kingdom. And that's only because it is Roy's love letter to Walt. Like because we've done this conversation before where in Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom is my number 1, and it will most likely always stay there because of the fact it is Roy's love letter to Walt. Is it everything that Disneyland is in Anaheim? No. But it has some remarkable nods to that. Like the hub and spoke layout, having the similar lands. Arguably the worst versions of the rides. Most I'll agree to that it is the worst version of most of the rides there. But it is such a beautiful nod to Walt Disney's dream for the Florida project. It just is. And when you walk in, it's very evident that that's what that was supposed to be. And there's just something, regardless of the rest of the park and the food options, Main Street is my favorite place in Magic Kingdom. Just walking down Main Street, and then you get to finish it with a Casey's Corner hot dog.
There it is.
I was waiting for it. Yep.
Like, I can't say that there's anything that is like my perfect day at Magic Kingdom is walking down Main Street, getting a coffee in the morning, and having lunch at Casey's Corner. And then, like, that's good. I'm good. I don't have to do anything else. I'm just good there.
You're going back for dinner.
Oh, probably. But like, because there's nothing else. Like, I'm going to go get a cheeseburger spring roll and a Casey's Corner hot dog, and then a cheeseburger spring roll, and then a Casey's Corner hot dog. Like, that's what's going to happen. Anywhere else, I'll go to Beacon Barrel. Beacon Barrel's a plus. Like that's a great addition. Phenomenal.
If you can get in.
Right. That's the big thing. Like that's cool. But like outside of that, like my favorite place in all of Magic Kingdom, aside from Main Street, is Frontierland. I never need to go anywhere else. Or not Frontierland, Adventureland. Sorry. Adventureland, I was going to say, is the worst part of the park right now because there's nothing there. Tiana's and Country Bear Jamboree. Woo. The rest of it's under construction. That's the worst.
Especially right now when it's a little chilly outside. Like, who wants to go on Tiana's?
Nobody. I looked at the wait times.
No wait.
Right. I looked at the wait times before we started recording this episode, and it was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it'll probably the highest it'll reach today is 10-15, and that's still a walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's going there. Frontierland, like you go to Liberty Square and you go, yeah, this is cool. Haunted Mansion's cool.
Hall of Presidents, man.
Right. I mean, that's there. But like, why would I go any further into Frontierland? I'm just gonna go into Adventureland because that's the better part of that end of the park anyway. But I mean, I digress. The best part about Magic Kingdom is Main Street, and then of course Pirates. Like that's just the best part of what's there. Haunted Mansion's very close to that top spot though. I like Haunted Mansion in another place a little bit more. And that's why I can't put that one at the top. So
I thought you might.
I might what? Put Pirate?
I thought you might put Magic Kingdom in your top spot. But
no, I didn't.
Not this time.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of top spots, Charlie.
My number one is a permanent science fair for adults who like day drinking. Epcot.
Oh,
that's the one.
The bad descriptions are back. Let's go.
Bad descriptions are back. Well, I brought it for just one. Because I didn't want to. We weren't going to do that for this episode, but I brought it for number one.
It's so good though. It's
so
good.
For me, Epcot is the nostalgia trip. There's just, even though a lot of the things that I originally was able to do with my family growing up, those things are gone. But I can like recall the childlike glee at being able to see like actual robots, and before we have these actual walking around animatronic AI robots that are going to be coming out soon here with the guy from Frozen, Olaf. Yeah. It's gonna
that looks so cool, by the way.
That looks amazing, and the fact that you can take like those were the things that I was dreaming could be a thing when I went into Epcot and went into the innovations and all of those different things back then. It was phenomenal. But like for me, still Epcot is my happy place because of the vibes, the different seasons, the different things that they bring to the park, and the way that they retheme things. They're willing to take a journey down, trying different nighttime spectaculars. Whether or not they work all the time is a different story, but they do tend to jump back and forth between them. But the futuristic, just being able to go on Google Maps and see Spaceship Earth like on Google Maps is an amazing thing. Google Maps, again, wasn't a thing when I was a kid growing up, but now you can like look at satellite imagery and it's there and it's amazing. However, they have lost their way. The original vision, IP creep has kind of made some problems with different things here. The cohesion, the what did you call it? Edutainment of things is not there as much as it used to be. It seems like missed opportunities are happening abound with lots of different things in Epcot. The experimental prototype community of tomorrow doesn't seem like it's a big part of it anymore, which is a bummer. Having Frozen there, Guardians doesn't fit, even though it's really cool. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't fit, like, it's IP. It's not, we're not learning anything when we go into this place except for how to throw up. But it feels like a like they're diluting the original cohesive theme of that cultural exploration and futuristic innovation. And I do 100% disagree with Caleb. I could spend the entire day in World Showcase and not have any issue, whether or not I'm drinking around the world or not. There are shows to see in every single place. We stopped for 30 minutes and listened to a mariachi band in Mexico. Like, those are the
Those
things.
guys
like,
are awesome.
They're so good. They're so good. And the drummers over in Japan, like Morocco, like there's things to experience. There are so many things to experience in World Showcase that I would argue that the three of us have probably not experienced every single thing you could possibly do in World Showcase, and we've been there as many times as we have. So
Yeah,
that's my
fair.
number one.
Now, to be fair, I didn't say World Showcase wasn't fun. I enjoyed World Showcase.
Right.
It's just not the reason I go to Epcot. Like, that's not the main reason I go there.
That's fair.
Okay.
And, like, but that's also to say, like, the castle's not the reason I go to Magic Kingdom.
What
I love the castle.
It kind of sounds
Which
like that's
castle?
the reason you go to Magic Kingdom.
No, that's not the reason why I go to
Man,
Magic Kingdom. I go to Magic Kingdom because of Main Street.
Compensating for
You go to
something.
Magic Kingdom for the hot dogs.
Compensating. It's like a man with a jacked up pickup truck. He's compensating for something. Yeah, like you look at that and you go, I bet he wears DC and his name's Jake, like, or Kyle. His name's Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey, that's a little close to Tyler for my liking.
Kyle?
Is a little close.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
it's very
drive a
close.
jacked up pickup truck.
I certainly don't.
Right. Case in point.
So do you guys want to do a joint number one and have a back and forth about the things you love and hate about your favorite park?
Should we do
Well,
that?
the hate will be a very short conversation.
It's very short, right?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about
hate. It's not hate, but like
Yeah,
the
it's
worst.
it's not hate. There's no
worst
hate.
is not a like.
Sure.
Talking about the worst.
Well,
is
let
not
me
the
let
hate.
me get my little spiel out of
Right.
the way. Not that I didn't actually like prepare a speech or anything, but there's been no suspense. Like, number one is Disneyland. It's Walt's park. It's the original. It's the best. It just has a magic to it. Like, that's all there is. Like, there's just something you can't capture. Like, even at these other parks, like I personally, I can't wait to visit Tokyo Disney Sea. I'm sure it is phenomenal and the best kept and maintained park with some of the most innovative attractions, but you can't manufacture what Disneyland has.
Not even close.
No.
So
No.
like it's hard to even put it into words, but there's just so many little things that are uniquely Disneyland, and that's just what does it for me.
It's super funny because I never thought that I would ever put Disneyland on top of my list.
I feel like I infiltrated your brain.
No. What really did it was the first time I went to Disneyland, which ironically you were there.
Coincidence? Question
I
mark?
think not. But it's one of those things, like, in my head, right? Like, all I had known is Disney World. That's the place I went. It's easier to get to from where I'm at, right? But like, Disney World was awesome. It was a great place. Like, I honeymooned there. It was a phenomenal place. Like, all this stuff. And then I go to Disneyland, and in my head, I was like, okay, like, yeah, I get it. It's Walt's park, but like, it's nothing, right? Like, it's old. And then, like, we walk in, and I go, oh, I get it. I get it now. Like, Main Street was awesome. the charm that Walt put into that is incredible. And everything was so precise and thought out. And the beautiful thing is, like, they weren't afraid to try stuff in the building of Disneyland Park, mostly because they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
They had no clue.
I
They were
mean,
the first ones to
he
do it.
hired a bunch of, or like not hired, but like he basically told a bunch of his animators, like, you're attraction designers now. Or,
Right.
these writers, he's like, you're going to write a song for Haunted Mansion or for Pirates. Like, oh, but I've never written a song before. Like, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
And, that
Stuff.
becomes the iconic stuff just out of necessity.
Right. And it was like, you couldn't plan for that ever. Like, you could
No.
never plan for that.
Nor
could
can you
never
repeat it, because
Right.
now if they
No way.
tried to repeat that, it would feel forced.
Right. And it's just got that charm. Like, I just keep coming back to that word, charm. The way it's laid out, how they do stuff, like seeing Walt's original ideas come to life, and they're the original ones, and that's why they're the better versions, right? Like, it's
Well,
truly
not all of them. Not every ride there is the original one.
well, no, but like the Haunted Mansion, Pirates
a
of
lot
the
of the
Caribbean,
classics.
right? The
But like Space
classic,
Mountain's a good example, or like the Florida
was an
Space
after.
Mountain was first,
right?
but it's like, oh, we learned some lessons where
Right.
we can't just remake Matterhorn and have people like it.
Right.
So let's
and
improve this a little bit.
That's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Like, but they did that after they saw, well, but also they couldn't redo Matterhorn because they already had Matterhorn. So like Space Mountain had to be
Right.
something different.
They had to do something different.
Yeah.
So like it's all of that, and walking into Toontown, walking past the beautiful outdoor facade of Small World, incredible. The walking through Fantasyland is unlike anything else, and I love that there's no lightning lanes for those rides, because like they're so close together. And
Yeah.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is a fever dream that's back there, but like
It's great. It's a must do.
It is
so
100%. But like, I've never done Alice in Wonderland back there. I'd love to. I've never
talk
done
about another fever dream. That's
I
another
know,
one.
I know. I've also never done I've never done Casey Jr. back there. I've never done
I haven't done that in a while.
I haven't done the teacups there. I've done teacups in World.
What's cool with Casey Jr., I mean, it's just the view that you get of the canal boats,
right,
from the higher perspective, is really cool. But I wouldn't put it as like a must do. But like, if you're
It's
at that
just
park
cool.
enough, you should try to do everything. It's
100%.
Yeah. Good luck.
100%.
And then like Toontown, which I feel like some people almost forget about because it feels like it's off. It's literally like behind everything else.
Right. It's back
down
there in the
that
middle of
separate
nowhere.
walkway. But the detail that they put into when they revamped Toontown, it's
incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Very cool.
There's nothing. There's nothing else in this world that's quite like Disneyland. And while Magic Kingdom was an attempt to bring Disneyland to the East Coast, it's still not Walt's park. Like I said when I was talking about Magic Kingdom, it is Roy's park, and it is a love letter to Walt. Disneyland is Walt's park.
Yeah. Well, Disneyland feels like a singular vision, and Magic Kingdom feels like a guy interpreting a vision, but also a guy who's a lot more budget conscious, which Roy was the money guy.
Right.
And
which
Walt was not the money guy. Walt was the visionary.
Yeah, Walt's thing was like, yeah, we can get that done, right? And Roy goes, we don't have the dollars. He goes, well, just add some zeros. Then we have the dollars.
We'll cut some in. We don't need that many bathrooms, right? We can just figure that out.
Right. Oh man. And
well, that was the story about opening day, right? Is he had to choose water fountains or bathrooms, like,
right?
Because only one of them was going to function,
right? And then they were really mad because they didn't have water fountains and they had to buy water. and they were like, "Oh, Walt's just trying to rip us off," and blah blah blah.
But
it's like,
but it was 100% the right choice.
It was 100% the right choice, 100%. And you want to know what's really funny? Nobody complained that they had all the bathrooms. Nobody complained about that.
No.
So, and when it comes to the worst things about Disneyland, I have one, and it's I can't find the castle. So
well played.
That's it.
I have one, an actual kind of, I don't know if I want to say a complaint, but one thing that sticks out negatively compared to everything else is Tomorrowland ? It is kind of a mess. It needs some updating just aesthetically, if nothing else. But
It does.
I know
help.
some people have a real attachment to Autopia, which I don't understand. As far as I'm concerned, like Autopia and the submarines can be updated to better utilize that space, because that's a whole lot of real estate that I feel like could be used for anything else. Not saying just build another Tron, but like something could go there that would just be better. But Star Tours, some people complain that Star Tours doesn't belong over there. I don't know where else you'd put it in that park, but you certainly don't want to get rid of it. And then Space Mountain is an icon, so it's not going anywhere. But yeah, if there's something that sticks out, yeah, the Tomorrowland's outdated, and you still have the rundown track of the former People Mover.
Right. It is the sore thumb of that park. Like when I do go to Disneyland, it is okay. I'm going to go hit Space Mountain, and then I'm going to leave Tomorrowland.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I will say they did use it very well during the Star Wars night.
Sure.
With a lot of characters and specialty snacks.
Sure.
They took advantage of a lot of that space because there's more room there than what they have in Galaxy's Edge.
Right. Galaxy's Edge is smaller than the one in World, but I honestly, just my personal opinion, what they should do is they should redo Tomorrowland, and they should lean all the way in on the new Fantastic Four aesthetic.
I don't know if it did well enough.
I'm not saying that they should make it Fantastic Four. What I'm saying is they should really touch up the buildings. They should really fix the People Mover. Like, honestly, that's what they should do. And I know it would be difficult, and they'd have to rip a bunch of stuff out and put it all back in. I'm saying it'd be worth it. There's a lot of things in that movie, in the Marvel side of like that future is like that retro futuristic stuff.
Yeah.
That they could really capitalize on it. And they did for a little bit. They had the Fantastic Four there with Herbie. So like that was cool. And people actually really loved it. And I think that they could really do something there, but we'll see how it goes.
But that was a easy number one.
Yeah. Very easy. I look forward to my trips to Disneyland every year. That is something that I very much, that is the one that I will for sure make happen every year. For sure. Disney World, I can go to Disney World for little to no dollars. Land, I will spend money to go to. Every time.
Well said. Well, guys, that was fun.
It was fun. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, subscribe, hit the ring on the bell, do the things, because we come back here every week and we talk all the things about all the things. And yeah, and you never know what we're going to talk about next, because honestly, we don't either. We could change our mind really, really fast and be like, oh, we're going to talk about this, speaking of which, on our next episode, we're going to be talking about some news items because there's some big things developing in the world of Disney. So outside of that, please join us next time when the dads come out to socialize.